You're tuned in to The Deep Dive. Today, we're really focusing on the latest buzz in AI, specifically looking at what Google and OpenAI have been up to recently.
That's right. We've sifted through, the tech news, the company blogs, all that stuff.
Yeah, and the idea is simple. Cut through the noise, basically. We want to pull out the most interesting bits, the useful insights, so you can quickly get a handle on what actually matters with these AI developments.
Exactly. Not just headlines, but what it means for you, the listener.
Okay, so let's jump right in. First up, some pretty big news for Android users, right? Google's Gemini Live.
The camera and screen sharing tools. They're now free for everyone with the Gemini app.
Which is a change because before you had to be a paying Gemini Advanced subscriber and only on specific phones.
Yeah, exactly. It started back in March, I think, just for Pixel 9 and the newer Samsung Galaxy phone. So opening it up like this is, it's pretty significant. Makes it way more accessible.
So how easy is it to actually use these? If you've got the app, what do you do?
It seems pretty straightforward. For sharing your screen, there's like a share screen with live button you can tap. Or on some phones, you can just long press the power button.
Okay.
And the camera tool is similar, often linked to that same power button long press. Then you hit live and the camera icon. Pretty integrated.
But it's more than just like showing your screen, right? The point is the AI interaction.
Absolutely. You can ask Gemini questions about what it's seeing, either on your screen or through your camera in real time.
Mashable had that great example, didn't they? Troubleshooting a home router.
Yeah. Like pointing your phone at the blinking lights and asking Gemini what's wrong. Maybe it even tells you the classic,
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Probably. But seriously, think about other uses. Getting a quick opinion on an outfit you're trying on.
Or info on a painting you see in a gallery.
Exactly. Or like fixing some gadget. That kind of instant visual help could be, a real game changer for just figuring things out on the spot.
Okay, interesting. Now, staying with Google for a moment.
Sure.
Let's talk about what's happening more on the developer side, maybe. Gemini 2.5 Flash.
Right, so this is an early version. It's in preview right now in the Gemini API via Google AI Studio and also Vertex AI.
And the big claim is it's a step up from 2.0 Flash.
A major upgrade in reasoning, they say, but this is key while keeping the speed and cost effectiveness that Flash was known for.
They mentioned something about amazing performance to cost ratio, didn't they? And being on the Pareto frontier sounds very technical.
It does, but basically it means they think they've hit a really sweet spot getting a lot of AI power without it being super slow or expensive to run.
And there's this fully hybrid reasoning model. Can you unpack that a little? What does that mean practically?
Sure. So essentially it gives developers finer control. They can actually choose to turn certain thinking processes on or off in the AI.
Turn thinking off.
Well, more like scale it. They can even set thinking budgets, basically telling the AI how much computational effort to spend on reasoning for a given task.
Okay. So you can optimize it for speed versus depth of analysis.
Precisely. And what's interesting is they claim that even with the deeper thinking turned off, it's still as fast as the old 2.0 Flash, but actually performs better overall.
And this isn't just for coders in the background, is it? Is this making its way into the app we use?
It is. Google says 2.5 Flash is also being integrated into the main Gemini app, bringing new features like Canvas to all users. So yeah, we should start seeing the benefits directly.
Better, faster, maybe more features in the app we're already using. Got it. Let's shift gears a bit. Away from features and more towards safety. Google's AI fighting bad actors, specifically fraudulent advertisers. They put out their 2024 ad safety report.
They did, and the numbers are pretty staggering. They suspended, get this, 39.2 million fraudulent advertiser accounts using AI.
39 million. Wow, that's a lot.
It really highlights the scale of the problem they're dealing with. And they're constantly tuning their AI for this. The report mentioned, I think, 50 enhancements to their LLMs just since 2023.
Enhancements for what specifically? Catching fraud faster.
Yeah, basically making the AI better at detecting and stopping advertiser fraud, even when there's less initial information. It's getting smarter at spotting things like, businesses pretending to be someone else or using stolen payment details.
It feels like this is becoming a critical use case for AI, just keeping the online space somewhat trustworthy.
Absolutely. The sheer volume means you need these kinds of automated systems, and the results seem tangible. They blocked or removed 5.1 billion ads last year alone.
For what reasons, mainly?
A lot of it falls under abusing the ad network. So things like bait and switch tactics, ads hiding malware, that kind of stuff. Also, trademark violations and ads that violate their personalized ad policies, like targeting based on sensitive topics.
And what about AI being used in the scams, like deepfakes?
Yeah, that's the growing concern, definitely. Google specifically mentioned cracking down on ads using AI-generated images or audio to fake celebrity endorsements.
Right, I've seen reports about those.
They suspended over 700,000 advertiser accounts just for that. And they claim it led to a 90% drop in user reports about those specific scams.
That's a significant impact.
It is. And overall, they blocked or removed 415 million ads classified as scams last year. Importantly, they also stressed that their systems caught most of these bad accounts before users even saw the fraudulent ads.
So proactive detection is key. Okay, let's pivot now. OpenAI. They have also been busy. New models, right? O3 and O4 Mini.
Yep, launched as their smartest models to date. A big part of the announcement is how they can use and combine all the existing ChatGPT tools.
All the tools, like web search, data analysis.
Column analysis with Python, reasoning with visual inputs, even generating images with DALL-E. They're designed to use these tools together more effectively.
So it's not just about being good at one thing, but knowing when to use which tool and how to combine the results.
Exactly. They're highlighting improved reasoning about tool use and a better grasp of multifaceted questions where you might need info from a file in a web search, for example.
And they can think with images now, too.
That's the idea. Blending visual understanding with the text-based reasoning more seamlessly.
Okay, so break down the difference for us. O3 versus O4 Mini. What's the deal?
So O3 is positioned as the powerhouse. It apparently excels at the really tough stuff. Complex coding, math, science problems, and also visual perception. Think analyzing complex charts or diagrams.
A heavy lifter.
Pretty much. Ideal for queries, where you need deep analysis or interpretation of visual data.
And O4 Mini.
Well, O4 Mini is the smaller, faster, more cost-efficient sibling. It's optimized for quick reasoning, still strong in math and coding and visual tasks, but designed to be, well, zippier and cheaper to run.
Okay, so maybe better for more frequent, less intensely complex tasks.
That seems to be the positioning. Plus, it comes with higher usage limits than O3, which is a practical benefit for many users and applications.
And OpenAI says both are designed to be more conversational and provide more verifiable answers.
That's the aim, yeah. More natural interaction, more useful responses you can actually check.
And who gets these models now?
Right now, O3, O4 Mini, and another variant called O4 Mini Highs are rolling out to ChatGPT Plus, Pro, and Team users. They're basically replacing the older GPT-4 models for those tiers.
What about free users?
Free users can apparently try out a 4 Mini using the Think option within ChatGPT, so there's some access there too.
All right, let's bring it back to Google for our final topic, video generation. This is always fascinating. VO2.
Yes, VO2. It's available for Gemini Advanced users, so part of that paid tier, and it generates video from text prompts.
Like Deely or Midjourney, but for moving images.
Essentially, yeah. It creates 8-second clips in 720p resolution, aiming for a cinematic feel, all from just your text description.
The examples Tom's guide tried sounded pretty cool, that French bulldog.
Oh yeah, the one wearing sunglasses, lounging on a plush daybed by a pool at a luxury resort. Apparently the sunglasses even had a little sparkle, and you could see palm trees swaying. Quite specific details from the text.
That's impressive. And the sci-fi book synopsis example.
Right, they fed it a book summary and got back what they called a realistic, otherworldly clip with smooth camera moves and good atmosphere. Shows it can handle more abstract concepts too.
They did mention a small glitch with a playground scene, though. A kid changing gender momentarily.
Yes. A little uncanny valley moment, perhaps. But overall, they said the depiction of kids playing, the swings, the sandbox, it was surprisingly realistic despite that hiccup.
And the traffic scene. Cars, a train?
Apparently look very convincing. Realistic movement, everything going in the right direction, good grasp of physics and motion, it seems.
What about the mermaids? That sounds more challenging.
That one was described as being a bit more stylized, like bubble guppies, but it still managed to create a scene with multiple mermaids interacting based on the prompt. So it handles fantasy elements too.
And it's not just VO2, there's also Whisk Animate from Google Labs.
Correct. Whisk Animate takes a static image you upload and animates it based on a prompt.
So you give it a photo and say, make this person walk.
Kind of. They tried uploading a picture and adding a prompt like window shopping on a city street. The article noted the animated person didn't look exactly like the photo subject, but the animation itself was cute and nuanced.
Interesting. Did they try animating anything else?
Yeah, they animated a cat picture, prompting it to walk down the street, In that case, they said the cat itself was captured perfectly, and the animation was just fun.
So possibilities there for bringing photos to life. But access to these, VO2 and Whisk, requires that Google One AI premium subscription.
That's right, the $20 a month plan. Though there is usually a free trial available if people want to test the waters.
Still, the results they're showing from just text prompts seems pretty striking. Smooth generation, creative potential.
Definitely. The ability to create relatively high-quality, coherent video clips or animations just by typing a description, it really opens up a lot of creative doors, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, quite a lot happening across the board from both Google and OpenAI.
For sure. I mean, the big themes seem to be better visual understanding, definitely improved reasoning, making these tools more accessible, but also that crucial aspect of using AI for safety and combating misuse. It's advancing on multiple fronts.
And for you listening in, these aren't just, lab experiments. They represent real, tangible, new ways you might interact with tech, get information, maybe even create things.
Which leads us to maybe a final thought to leave you with. Considering these tools, the visual interaction with Gemini, the smarter reasoning in ChatGPT, the video generation, how might AI like this start to change your own routines? Or maybe your creative work?
Yeah, what possibilities are you actually excited about? Or perhaps even a little wary of? Something to think about as these technologies continue to evolve so rapidly.